How's it going, guys? I'm here to review A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, 1988.
Do you know what terror is?
Hello.
Do you live here?
Nobody lives here.
So, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 takes place a year after the third one left off. If you guys haven't seen the third movie, please click off now. Spoilers ahead. The third one, Nancy dies, but Tristan and the other gang of Dream Warriors defeats Freddy Krueger by putting a cross and holy water in his grave, so that way he can be destroyed and then in the nightmare realm. So Kristen's back in this movie, as well as Joey and Kincaid from the last movie. But Kristen, she's not, that character's not played by Patricia Arquette anymore. Instead, it's played by Tuesday Knight, and you are introduced to another character, Alice. She's pretty much the main character in this movie. Why? I don't want to spoil why, but she is the main character instead of Kristen. Her It's played by Lisa Wilcox. She's in this movie, and she's also in the next movie, which I'll cover in the next review. So not only the old characters from the last movie are back, but you have Alice and her friends, her group of friends. Of course, Freddy Krueger comes back one by one. Most of these new kids get killed in their dreams by Freddy Krueger in creative ways, of course. And it's up to Kristen to fight Freddy, but when something goes horribly bad, which I don't want to say anything, it's up to Alice to defeat Freddy Krueger now. And Alice, when her friends die one by one, she collects essence or something that's part of her friends, and she collects them. Like, I guess, like, you can say that she gets their personality, their strength, their smartness. She collects a piece out of her friends, and she becomes the Dream Master. And of course, I guess she becomes like a martial artist against Freddy Krueger in her dreams. That's why she's the Dream Master, but I don't know. But yeah, this movie is actually directed by Renny Harlin, and Renny Harlin's responsible for like 80s movies, and then of course you have The Exorcist, the beginning.
Terror. How long has it been since you've been on Elm Street?
So what did I think of this movie? This movie is actually not a bad sequel. It's not as good as the first and the third one, but it's still not a bad sequel. It's pretty good. Better than the second one. So if I had to put my ranking so far, 2, 4, 3, and 1. So 1 will like always be the best in Nightmare on Elm Street, like always, from least to greatest, of course. Like 2, 4, 3, and 1. This movie's not a bad sequel. You can tell they have a lot more fun in this movie. I think this is the first movie where it's not really serious Freddy Krueger anymore. It's not scary Freddy Krueger. This is officially the first movie where Freddy Krueger goes full on comedy, which I didn't mind. Like, a lot of stuff in this movie worked, and a lot of stuff in this movie just didn't quite work, especially when there's a scene where Freddy Krueger is like an invisible martial artist master that's trying to fight one of his victims and eventually kills the victim. I don't know. That whole dream sequence was kind of cheesy. There's a lot of fun cheese out of this movie that you can enjoy, and while others probably won't enjoy it, but me personally, I enjoyed it. Of course, Freddy Krueger has more one-liners in this movie. He has more jokes, more comedic tones, like even his razor hand gloves is like the shark when it's like sliding through the ocean, which is very funny. Or he puts on some sunglasses on the beach. Just like humorous stuff like that. Like, you can't take seriously. It's pretty funny. To some horror fans, or at least to like serious horror fans that love the serious Nightmare on Elm Street movies or the Dark Freddy Krueger, they're probably not gonna take it too lightly. But yes, Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger is still badass in this movie as always. I love these new characters, Alice and her group of friends, and it's cool that they brought back Joey and Kincaid back from the last movie, and Tuesday Knight did good as Kristen, so that's good. The soundtrack and the score is good in this movie, especially the opening song, called Nightmare, which is surprisingly sang by Tuesday Knight as well. So that's a good, dope-ass sequence. It has a dope-ass soundtrack in this movie. Special effects in this movie is great as always. It's visually appealing. Some of the deaths are creative. The gore, like, everything is just creative in this movie. There's really nothing bad I can say about this movie. It's basically like Dream Warriors, but just a little bit more toned down, if that makes sense. And I will say the ending is pretty epic. I think Freddy Krueger has like one of the most epic defeats in this movie. Um, how he gets defeated, I'm not gonna say, but he gets defeated in a creative way. I should say that. And plus, I didn't mind the story for this movie. The story was a little bit more, it's straightforward. It takes place after the third one where it left off, and it's just Freddy going back to his roots, picking these new kids off one by one on Elm Street. So that's pretty much the plot. So overall, not a bad sequel. I enjoyed it. If I had to give this movie out of 10, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I actually enjoyed it. Not as quite as the last one, Dream Warriors, but and it's definitely not as good as the original, but it is better than the second one so far. So not as good as 1 and 3, but better than 2. So that was my quick review of Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, 1988. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Second to none.
Don't let them put you to sleep.
He has no mercy. And no equal.
Now no one sleeps.
Get ready. This August, your wildest dreams will come true.
How sweet, fresh meat.
A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. The Dream Master.